mi gente, ¿y cómo están, mis queridos? Anyway, so let's get started because we are continuing on the Instagram for Business. Sí, para tu negocio, escuchaste bien. Bueno, like we started last week, we started the Instagram for Business. And this week, we continue on the Instagram for Business series. How many times have you just racked your brain as to exactly what you need to be putting on your profile and why other profiles are working and yours is not? Well, this week brings you the innovative insight on 9 optimizable elements for your Instagram profile. So welcome back to the Instagram for Business series. Straight up, we're going to go dive into the 9 optimizable elements of your Instagram profile. Why? Because I really want to get you guys to get going. And also, down in the descriptions is the link to the full blog post that I did yesterday. And it gives you a downloadable checklist. It's a checklist that I use with my clients. It has all the questions that are really important to ask for each one of these elements of your Instagram profile. So important. Starting at number 1, we've got your username. Your username is the ID on the platform. So this specific name should be consistent across all social media platforms. If you are only solely on Instagram, make sure that you choose a username that resonates you. If you are a personal brand, if you're an influencer, if you're a life coach, if you're a realtor, whatever it is that you are, if you're a solopreneur, make sure that it closely matches your business or who you are or your brand identity. If you are a brand, if you are a business, whatever it is that you're selling, make sure that your brand name is in that user ID. So I'm going to just pick a random one. And the first thing that pops up in my head is my friend Oziel, because he was just texting me a while ago. He wanted me to go see the future with him. Anyways, so he's got a personal brand, which is Think Oziel, and he's also got a business. And in his business, he is the founder of Pod Houston. So his user ID is at Pod Houston. So make sure that when you're using your user ID, that it's very important that you describe specifically what it is that you do. It's easily recognizable, it's easily memorable. It doesn't have all of these dashes and numbers and dots and everything in between. It has to be quick, easy, and something that I can say, oh, let me search Pod Houston, and I get on my phone and I can easily put Pod Houston and you come up. So it's very important that you use a series of characters that is going to give you the best optimization, the best ability to be searchable. For instance, if you have a name that's like Jane Smith or John Doe, well, I'm sorry. You're going to have to get a little creative with the dashes and a little creative with the dots and figure out a way to put, J_Smith, J_Smith rocks, like I rock. But something fun and innovative, something catchy that your users are going to easily be able to find you and relate to you. Up next, in number 2, your profile picture. Your profile picture is not really visible. You can't click on it, you can't make it bigger, you can't really get in there and start looking at someone's profile picture for that reason. So you have to make sure that it's absolutely stunning, eye-catching, super creative. Whatever it is, you need to make sure it's popping. And as I said before, if you are a brand, a business, a product, make sure that you use your company logo. Use your company logo in there and make it gorgeous. If you are a solopreneur, life coach, realtor, personal trainer, all of that stuff, make sure that it's a full frontal selfie. Yeah, this is the time where you can go full selfie mode on Instagram. Make sure that the background is nice and clear, that it's clearly visible, even branded in your brand colors. that would make it amazing. But make sure that you have a very clear background, it's not cluttered, and that you can easily see your selfie. Keep in mind that profile pics are 110 by 110 resolution. So, the crisper the image, the better it is, the more you can fit in that 110 by 110, the more visible and traction you're going to be getting on your profile. All right, brace yourself for element number 3, the bio. The bio has to be a mix of a Twitter post, because it's about 150 characters, and think of it as like your website metadata description. So it has to be short, concise, to the point, attention grabbing. It has to read who you are, what you do, but without being, all about me. So make sure to include exactly what value you are giving to your audience. It's very important for them to know exactly what you'll be providing for them. That is the major deciding factor of why they are going to follow you. The 4th element, this one is really good because a lot of people, I don't think they really think about this one much, but it's your plain name. Your name is like the title of your website. So in a title of your website, it tells exactly what you do, right? On your website, it could be, for instance, I'm going to use mine, vjfranco.com, right? You go in there and the first thing you see is my title is Marketing, Business Basics, and Entrepreneurship for my personal website. For my agency, it literally tells you it's a media and marketing agency in Houston, Texas. It's a boutique marketing agency. So you want to make sure that those kind of phrases are along with your name. If you go into my IG account and you look at my name, it says J Franco, and it also says social media strategist. The reason why I added that on there, again, we're going to go back to the whole realtor, life coach, all that stuff. Whatever your name is, J Smith Life Coach, if I go into Instagram, into the search bar, and I click on, and I type in Life Coach, you're more likely to come up. Anything that has that combination is going to come up. If you are a realtor, you can put, your initials, or you can even go on and beyond most people and go in and put the best realtor in Houston, Texas. So I have a client, and I haven't suggested this yet, but we've been working on their rebranding and all that stuff. So for their name, I'm going to suggest that they put Best Yard Balloons of Houston, because you're already using their username as their company name. So now I want them to use the name, that title, as the title that represents who they are in their business and what they do. So for me, it's social media strategist. I wanted people to find me and really relate to that and say, oh, that's J Franco, social media strategist, right? So make sure that you are optimizing this area. Make sure you don't just put your name. You're not Juanita Gonzalez in there. It's Juanita Gonzalez, the makeup diva. Hey, I just made that up. But Juanita Gonzalez, if you're out there, shout out to you. All right, people, web link is number 5. So if you have a website, if you have a blog, whatever link that you want to drive traffic to, that's what you put in the web link that is given to you. Make sure to use this because this is the first call to action on the Instagram profile. It is very important that you use the web link specifically. A lot of people change it weekly. I change my link tree weekly. So I tend to make a generic link, which is Linktree, probably / at the J Franco, something like that. And you can go to linktree.com to get your own link tree. And this is what it does. It gives you the ability to have multiple links within that one link. So in essence, it is a tree. It's a tree with lots of branches. And the branches happen to be the different links to drive traffic to those places. My most successful link in my link tree is my YouTube channel. So most of you that are watching, you came directly from the Instagram page because it says watch my videos on YouTube, new videos every Thursday. So you get into the habit of clicking in there, right? Or when I send something to my stories and it says new video up, I drive traffic to that link that's in my profile, and then they go and they click on the link for the YouTube. Very important to use this specific link to drive traffic specifically to the area or to the platform or the site that you want your audience to meet you. All right, number 6 is location. Go into your settings and go into adding, contacts. So make sure you go into add contacts, and you can add email, you can add, your location, you can add anything, any buttons that you want. For this specific, if you add your location, it will list the location at the bottom of your profile without you having to type in Houston, Texas and take up prime real estate out of your bio. Your bio is very important. So what you type in that bio, what you include in that bio is really important. So don't waste characters by putting HTX or Houston, Texas or anything like that, because you're taking away from the opportunity to tell your audience a little bit more about the value that you're providing for them. So make sure that you use the functions within the settings to apply the location to your profile. Your profile also has highlights. If you don't know what highlights are, don't worry. That video is coming up and I'll be able to link it soon. But for those of you that have wondered and have looked through other profiles and you see these highlights, make sure that the highlights have beautiful color covers that specifically tell your audience what they're gonna be finding behind the scenes, behind that veil, behind that curtain of that cover. It's really important to label your highlights so that your audience can see specifically exactly what content is behind them and what value you're providing for them. Remember, it's all about providing value on Instagram, and in order to be attractive, you need to make sure that all of these elements are really all cohesive and that you're using all of these elements to optimize your profile, to make it the best, the most appealing profile that there is on the gram. Second to last, this element is called buttons. These buttons are the secondary call to action on your Instagram profile. Currently, my profile has an email us or an email, so people that want to contact me directly can click on the button email and it'll immediately send them to start an email to send me. There's a call button, so if you click on the button that says call, it immediately starts calling me. So it gives my audience a chance to connect directly with me without having to go through my website, without having to go offline, off the gram. They have immediate communication with me. So make sure that your call buttons are specific to you and to your. Last but not least, the last element to optimizing your Instagram profile is the feed. Once you have your profile all optimized, the first 3 pictures on your Instagram feed are the first visible ones. It's very important that this content is on brand, it's beautiful, it's stunning, it's intentional. Everything that you put up on the gram has to be with intention and purpose of retaining someone's attention. So keep in mind that the feed is very important. Those first 3 pictures right below the fold are so crucial in optimizing your profile. That's why it's so important to curate an incredible feed and a thoughtful feed, a purposeful feed. But feed is a whole nother story on its own. It's a whole nother monster that I will be tackling next week. So we will be talking all about the feed, how to make your feed pop on Instagram, and what are those things that are really important when curating content in the feed. And there's 3 different types of content that you can put out in your Instagram profile that will really drive traffic, create a following, create a tribe, as well as create that loyalty, people that stay on your page, that follow you and continue to follow you throughout without jumping off. So now that we've finished these 9 elements, I can't wait for you guys to start crushing it. Like last week, we did some homework. So what I want you guys to do right now is go down below to the description of this video. click on the link that sends you to the blog. Download your checklist. Like I said, that checklist includes all the questions that I ask my client, that we make sure we meet all of these questions before we check off. Like always, like and subscribe to the videos. Next week, as mentioned, I will be bringing to you how to curate the perfect feed, the Insta-worthy feed next week, all next week. So make sure that you subscribe. I'm not sure where I'm putting it again, but subscribe, like, and comment below. And I'd love to know exactly right now, so go comment right now as to what you learned, what you took away from this video. What new thing did you learn to do from this video? Don't forget the checklist below. See you guys next week, and I can't wait to see you next time. Well, this week brings you the innovative insight on 9 optimizable